Hello and welcome back to Donut Like Donut Read. My name is Julius and with me today I have Stannis, aka Clemens.
Hello there.
And Joaquin.
What is up?
And today we are reading Adventures in the Land Before Time, a Sonic the Hedgehog X Land Before Time crossover. You know, as they would have said on the Steel Donut Collective, two tastes that taste great together. And this was written by Vitani Run 825. Okay. I'm just gonna hit you with the short description now. Sonic and the gang are on the adventure of a lifetime. With Tails' machine on the fritz, how will they ever get home? They make new friends in a strange world and go through many hurdles.
Many hurdles,
I don't
indeed.
know what they I don't know what they mean by on the fritz. I don't know who this Fritz guy is.
Disclaimer, I don't own the Land Before Time or Sonic characters. Author's note. My OCs won't be added in this particular story. This is my second Sonic/Land Before Time crossover, which has nothing to do with my other one. Cast of characters. Sonic the Hedgehog, aka Fast Runner. Tails, Two-Tailed Flyer. Couldn't think of another nickname for his species. Knuckles,
Yeah, because the other ones were so much better.
Knuckles the... wait, how do you pronounce that?
Echidna, I think.
Echidna, aka a glider. Amy Rose, Fast Runner, though not as fast as Sonic. Dr.
Now
Eggman.
that's
What
a
a flattering
nickname.
Dr. Eggman doesn't get
We have
any
the fast
nicknames.
runner, we have the
It's just Dr. Eggman.
two-tailed flyer, we have the glider, and we have the other fast runner,
But not
not
as
as
fast
good
as
as the
Sonic.
other one.
Because Sonic's
Yeah,
number
and Dr.
one.
Eggman is just Dr. Eggman. Okay. Tails was in his workshop, putting the finishing touches on his plane. The feature he added is a dimension traveling device, which means he and a few friends could travel to any dimension he wants. Today, he decided that he wanted to go to the age of dinosaurs, since he held a fascination for those great beasts. As if on cue, Sonic and crew showed up and walked over to him.
Hey guys, since Eggman hasn't been attacking us for a while since his last defeat, I thought we could take a trip.
Tails said. That's a great voice, by the way. That's a great Tails voice. The gang then noticed the modifications on the plane. I'm in. You guys can come if you want, Sonic declared.
If you want.
Wait, why is that your... Why are you deciding that, Sonic? You didn't build the thing. What an asshole. Soon enough, Amy and Knuckles were in agreement with Sonic and Tails. After that, Tails took his plane for a test drive. Oh, not a test flight, just a test drive. He's just driving it on the ground. However, it malfunctioned and has sent his house workshop and Sonic, Amy and Knuckles' homes along with them and the plane. Once they had come to, they noticed that they have arrived in the age of dinosaurs, and their houses along with Tails' workshop were now closer to each other and have remained intact.
Wait, so
Remarkably, so has Tails' plane.
so they traveled to another dimension, and their houses went with them.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure I got that right.
Yeah, when he said it, he added a dimension traveling device to the plane, you assumed it wouldn't take the houses.
You assumed it would just take the plane with it. But no, it took everything with it. Unbeknownst to them, Eggman was in his Egg-O-Medic floating high in the sky.
What Sonic and the others don't know is that I took Tails' plans to modify my flying machine.
Eggman said and then cackled. He then hovered closer to the gang, but he managed to stay out of their sight.
I wonder where we are.
Knuckles stated. Take a look around, knucklehead. We're surrounded by dinosaurs, Sonic retorted. Wow, Sonic's kind of an asshole in this, I gotta say. Knuckles groaned in annoyance at Sonic's nickname for him.
Guys, please, this is no time for arguing. We're lost and we need to find some help.
Tails told them.
Wait, I just noticed, like, in all the dialogue, the sentences just end with commas.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to see. I'm gonna scroll down and see if it. Yeah, it does.
Well, frankly,
Shit.
the periods just struck me as too cliched. Tails, let them work it out for themselves. That's the big boy's job, Amy said while wagging her finger. The young fox had enough of Amy's patronizing attitude just because he's the youngest of the gang. All of a sudden, they all saw a group of dinosaurs coming up to them. They were fascinated by them since this is the first time they ever saw two-legged tickle fuzzies.
What in the world? A two-tailed creature? I never thought I'd see the day.
Kosh commented. And I thought the one thing I'd never see in my life is you not hoarding all the sweet bubbles to yourself, Topsy retorted. The clubtail snarled at the freehorn.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Grandpa gently scolded them. Topsy and Kosh nodded.
Now, back to the issue at hand. Where do you come from?
Grandpa asked. Tails got prepared to explain where her and the others came from.
Wait, so is
Tails just used her. Tails used her own gender-changing machine from a reason to for insanity.
Oh, I guess when they traveled, they took that with them too. Oh, I'm sorry, her. Okay.
We came from...
Another world! Our little two-tailed friend was working on something in our own world, and it somehow sent us here.
Okay,
Amy interrupted.
You didn't have to interrupt Tails.
Oh, don't worry, you don't need to scold her because the characters in this story are gonna do that for you now. Grandpa sighed. He found it to be disrespectful if anybody interrupted while someone was trying to speak.
Young lady, I believe your two-tailed friend was trying to speak, and you cut him off. It's not polite to interrupt someone's speech regardless of their age or gender.
Yeah, preach it, baby!
Grandpa's freaking based.
So you see, you should never interrupt someone, regardless of their age and gender. Well, you make a valid point. Go ahead and explain, Amy told Tails.
Why bother? You already did so when you interrupted me.
Tails sneered and then flew away. Come on, Tails, stop being such a little bitch. The dinosaurs, along with Sonic and Knuckles, glared at Amy. Then Topsy turned to Kosh. Whenever I interrupted somebody as a kid, I would get tail whipped on the buttocks and not be able to sit for a week, Topsy stated. Wait, how would you get tail whipped? You're a Triceratops. Like, wouldn't that fit Kosh more, since he's an Ankylosaurus? I'm probably overthinking this.
That's nothing. My father used to correct my behavior by washing my mouth out with swamp water just for saying minor swear words, even if they just slipped out.
Kosh replied. With all due respect, I think that getting my mouth washed out with swamp water, while gross, wouldn't be as painful as a tail whipping to the buttocks.
I love
Topsy
that.
responded.
I love that tail whipping to the buttocks. You know, getting mouth washed out with swamp water.
I really love how, like, these 3 adult dinos are having these discussions about how they used to get punished, while Littlefoot and friends, like, the main characters from the movie didn't even show up yet.
Yeah.
Let alone have a line.
Yeah, that in Florida, this is how kids get punished, because, Florida's a very swampy area, so whenever they get punished,
Yeah,
they take their kids they either take their kids to the swamp and then wash their mouth with swamp water, or they have to wrestle with an alligator, but they might make it out alive or not, because that's how it is in Florida.
And that's an old tradition that made its way from the dino times to modern times, actually.
Yeah, except, the dinosaurs, I'm sorry, no, the alligators were much larger back then, I think.
Well, but so were the people, like they were dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Kosh shrugged. After an awkward silence, the formal introductions were exchanged. Sonic told the dinosaurs about Tails since he had left in a huff because Amy interrupted his speech.
So this Tails, as you call him, you got you all sent here?
Kosh asked. Didn't you listen to a word the pink pest said, or are you partially deaf? Topsy sneered. Hey, I am not a pest, Amy protested. It had only been a few minutes and Amy has already gotten everybody mad at her.
They can't even have a conversation without having an argument in like 2 seconds. They just got here.
We just got a shit on Amy. Like it was rude to interrupt Tails, but
he flew away.
I think he overreacted just a bit. And also, they just keep shitting on her. Like, come on.
Yeah, they just traveled to the prehistoric times, and then Tails thought it was a good idea to fly away and go to some other place where it's like super dangerous.
Well, what could possibly go wrong? Okay, second chapter. Knuckles was out in the field eating some sweet bubbles when Kosh came out of nowhere.
Hey, what are you doing? Those are my sweet bubbles. Get your own somewhere else.
Kosh demanded.
Hey, dude, I don't see your name on them.
Knuckles retorted.
Wow, I knew you'd be stupid enough to eat from a bush where I marked my territory.
Kosh sneered. Knuckles spat out the sweet bubbles in disgust.
Ha! Now beat it, Nibbles.
Kosh added.
By the way, my name is Knuckles, not Nibbles. See you, Pinky.
Knuckles retorted and then left the area.
Oh, that guy is so gullible.
Kosh sneered. As it turns out, he made up a lie to get Knuckles away from the area. Meanwhile, Tails was having fun playing Swimmer Splasher with Littlefoot and his friends. But they're not gonna have any dialogue with the main characters of the movies. Because
like it
why
really
would
matters.
they? Yeah, like, who even cares about this Littlefoot guy? Like, Kosh and fucking Sarah's father are much more important. Since Sonic wasn't much of a swimmer, he took to a high branch on a tree and decided to take a nap. Unbeknownst to them, Dr. Eggman is putting a plan into action.
In order to take over this place, I better weaken its defenses. Taking out that elder longnecks, ha, ha, ha.
Dr. Eggman cackled. He then took out what looks like a lethal weapon. However, it's an H-ray that turns grown-ups into any age he desires.
Only grown-ups? It's a weird restriction.
Well, because the children aren't a threat to Eggman.
Ah, look out.
Grandma cried out. Grandma and Grandpa got out of the way in time despite their age. However, Topsy took the hit and was turned into the same age and size as Sarah.
Duh! No, I wanted the old fart in his lady's friend to be turned into children, not the horn face.
Dr. Eggman growled. Did he turn into Homer Simpson? Go!
I like how,
Old
like, every
fart.
time... Oh, keep going.
Old fart? Why, you egghead?
Grandpa snarled. He managed to swat Eggman a few yards away from him.
That will teach him.
Grandpa added. Just then he lowered his head to Topsy.
Now, what are we gonna do with you?
Grandpa asked. Oh, I guess Topsy's younger now. Should I make the voice higher?
Yeah.
Yeah. Try your best.
For starters, you could get me some tree stars, please. Thank you very much. It's lunchtime and I had nothing to eat yet.
Topsy said.
You haven't had anything to eat yet.
Grandpa corrected him.
Darn tootin'!
Topsy retorted.
You misunderstood me. I was just correcting your grammar. But
Grandpa replied.
you shouldn't take grammar advice from somebody who ends his sentences in commas.
Man, all these dialogues are so important.
I don't need no stinking long neck to tell me how to speak.
Topsy snorted. Grandpa sighed.
What? I was just being honest.
No,
Topsy
you're being an
added.
asshole.
Everyone's just kind of being an asshole to one another. Like, what the fuck? Everyone is just kind of rude to each other in this. I don't know why.
Everyone in the story is just like has no social skills at all.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the sky, Dr. Eggman was chuckling to himself.
Maybe this could work to my advantage.
Dr. Eggman said before floating away. He then zapped more grown-ups with his ray gun along the way. Now that Kosh along with Ducky and Spike's mom have been turned back into 10-year-olds, old kids like Topsy was. Later that day, the three grown-ups now turned 10-year-olds met up with the gang, along with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles.
Hey there, Nibbles.
Kosh sneered.
Right back at you, Pinky.
Knuckles retorted. Topsy sat on his haunches and laughed while pointing his paw at Kosh. What you laughing at? Sonic asked the three-horn male.
Kosh can't seem to get Knuckles' name right, and he retaliated by calling him Pinky.
Topsy answered.
Yeah,
Sonic
just fully
snorted in
described what he's
laughter.
laughing at.
Yeah, thanks for describing the scene again. I just read it.
Yeah, I was getting kind of confused.
Yeah, you see,
Yeah.
we're laughing because we're reading this fanfic and it's really bad.
Yeah, he calls me Nibbles.
Knuckles responded. It was now Sarah's turn to chuckle. But don't worry, she's not gonna have any dialogue. Because why would she?
Not like
She's just one of these stupid main characters.
yeah, this author
Who
really
needs
goes
her
for
when you have
he likes to underrate
When you
characters
have-
more.
Sarah's father, who I think his character was mostly that he was kind of racist in the movies.
Oh no.
And then a guy who was in like one episode of the show. Because those guys are really important to the story.
Oh, even with you guys being turned into children, I'm still the youngest in the group.
Tails moaned.
Oh,
Oh wait. Okay.
hee that means I get to push you around.
Kosh remarked. Tails sighed. If only he could figure out how to change the grown-ups back to their proper ages before Eggman could turn more grown-ups into children. Like, regarding their personalities, does the age ray even make any difference? Because I think they were kinda assholes before.
Yeah.
Okay, third and last chapter. Meanwhile, Amy wandered around and was zapped by Eggman's invention. She has now been turned into a 6-year-old. Yay,
No.
another voice that I now have to do even higher.
What has happened? I'm younger than Tails!
Amy exclaimed. Eggman cackled from above before floating away again.
Crap! I guess this is my punishment for being mean to Tails!
What?
Amy muttered.
Okay.
I'd say you got your punishment when everyone was kind of an asshole to you. When everyone hated you. Remember that?
Yeah, like, what, 5 minutes ago?
As if on cue, Tails flew by and confronted the Pink Runner. Can we talk about this? This name doesn't even make sense because, like, Amy's ability isn't even that she can run fast. Like, shouldn't her name be related to her hammer or something? Like, I don't know. The hammer swinger.
Well, what's even more weird is that he established nicknames at the start and never used them.
Yeah. Well, now he's using... Well, no, Pink Runner wasn't the name, actually. It was Fast Runner, but not as fast as Sonic.
Yeah, I guess he's right. The author's right in that sense.
Well,
I believe the word you were trying to say was patronizing, Amy.
Tails smirked. Now Amy knows how it feels to be patronized. Karma sure had a way of coming back and biting her in the butt. This really is Darman, but with Sonic characters. Pink Runner, but not as fast as Sonic, patronizes young two-tailed fox, instantly regrets it.
Yeah. This basically just is a Darman video.
Hey, Darman, bam. I hope you got that message. We're not just doing stories, we're changing lives.
Tails, I know when I was 12 I was a pain in the butt to you.
I'll forgive you, Amy. Only because I don't hold grudges. Life is too short for that.
Tails told her. Fuck you, Tails. That's
Right.
what someone who does hold grudges says.
Why would anybody hold grudges for being interrupted once?
I get the feeling the author doesn't like Amy very much. Amy smiled.
Besides, I think you look adorable as a 6-year-old, a lot less obnoxious.
Tails remarked. Back over where the others were, Kosh was hoarding all the sweet bubbles for himself. Topsy and Knuckles weren't happy about that, since they like sweet bubbles as well.
Oh, okay.
Who does that guy think he is? Those sweet bubbles aren't just for him.
Knuckles sneered.
I know, right? He's such an obnoxious jerk.
Topsy stated.
Hey, author, have you just learned the word obnoxious?
Meanwhile, Eggman has released a barrage of robots in the clearing near the Thundering Falls. Since some of the grown-ups and Amy were turned into small children, the inhabitants of the valley would have to fight harder. With all those robots coming at the remaining grown-ups, some were shooting lasers while others were swinging sharp pointy objects and the other few were holding guns.
Robots attack.
Eggman exclaimed.
I like how when we first started the story, Eggman, the voice I did for Eggman was like completely different, and now it's just this.
You know, I also like the point about now that some of the grown-ups are turned back into children, they will have to fight harder. When, like, most of the movies are, like, the children, like, actually doing shit when the adults can't because they think it's too dangerous. When the robots started attacking, victory seemed almost impossible, since their weapons were lethal to the dinosaurs. But not to the Sonic characters, apparently.
Look out!
Grandpa exclaimed. Grandma managed to dodge the laser. However, the skin on the side of her neck got cut from the sharp and pointy object, and she was bleeding a little bit. Luckily for her, it didn't puncture her windpipe, although it could get infected if she didn't get it looked at and cleaned properly.
Dear, are you alright?
Grandpa asked. The elderly female panted and eventually nodded. As a fun cue, Topsy and Kosh, along with the Gang of Five, who still didn't have any dialogue, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy arrived to help defeat Eggman's barrage of robots. Despite being 6 again, Amy still had the same power with her hammer that she had as a 12-year-old. Die, robots, die! Amy exclaimed. However, Topsy and Kosh felt like they were useless, since they were too small, like the Gang of Fives. You know, the Gang of Five who never defeated a foe that was, like, bigger or stronger than them. In none of the movies, didn't happen. Don't ask about it. Ducky saw the blood coming from the elderly female's neck. Gigglefoot, your grandma is hurted! She is! Ducky exclaimed.
That shit looked like it hurted.
The young Longneck looked up at his grandmother. He assumed she must have taken the hit to prevent Grandpa from getting hurt. However, he couldn't help but shed tears, since he was so scared that the cut on Grandma's neck could get infected and she'll get very sick. Is infection even a concept that the dinos would have? He lowered his head to the ground and Ducky walked over to him. Do not worry, Littlefoot. Your grandma is a strong dinosaur. She will get through this, I am sure, Ducky assured him while drying his tears. And that was the only sentences the canon characters from the movie said in this. Ah, you're such a sweetheart, Ducky, Amy commented. Ducky smiled at that comment. After a seemingly long battle with the robots, Eggman and the remaining robots admitted defeat and fled the area. Soon enough, everyone crowded around the elderly female Longneck. She had just collapsed due to the blood loss in her neck.
Well, looks
Grandpa
like she's
stood
dead.
at her side with his head hanging low to the ground.
This doesn't look so good.
Tails commented. This was gonna be a very long and stressful day for the herd.
The end.
Well, too bad. Too bad. We'll never find out about it. Because just when something dramatic happens after all this useless dinking around,
Yeah, the
with
grandma
these
dies.
unimportant side
out of no-
characters, now something actually dramatic is happening and it was never updated again.
When was this?
So,
written? Okay, 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think this will ever be updated.
so Eggman's plan was steal the schema for the dimension travel device and follow Sonic and to whatever dimension he ends up in and conquer that dimension and not conquer his home dimension when Sonic can't stop him because he's away.
Yeah, what does he even want with the dinosaur world? Especially since most of the world in the Land Before Time is like a desolate wasteland, to be honest.
You guys want to check
Like,
out the...
what the fuck does he want there?
Yeah. You guys want to check out the 4 reviews on this story?
Yeah. What do we have?
Okay. Old Dan Trucker says, I better stop before I lose more brain cells.
Well, too late. Gamper Habanero says, oopsie, looks like Amy needs to work on her social skills. Yeah, supposed to. Anyone else in this. Unlucky for her, no one wants to be patronized.
Figment 1983 on Chapter 1. Can you do a Land Before Time and South Park crossover, please?
Yes, please. That would be amazing.
And on
taste even more great together.
On Chapter 2, Eggman turned Topsy into a kid. I'll have to give myself a promotion.
Whatever he means by that.
I just need to mention we here at DLDR are against patronizing other people and interrupting them. Just thought we should make that clear. Since I think the story was kind of vague on the moral it wanted to tell with the Amy side story. Okay, so that was Adventures in the Land Before Time. What, I guess we're rating stories, right? What do you give Adventures in the Land Before Time?
5 swamp mouthwashes out of 10.
3 commas out of 10.
I gotta say, I'll give this all the sweet bubbles that I can hoard out of 10. Would mark my territory on again. Well, I think that concludes it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we have a Tumblr and I think some other social media accounts. Links will be in the description, and until next time, bye.
Alright, peace out.